Oceanside rider while she rolling the herb. Tide sucking up on the curb. Got this feeling to splurge. My sole purpose is to give you the word. Write these verses with that murder ain't no relation to herbs. Switching lanes for that shifting. 2 5 shots, still grooving this pandemic. I just played the cards, I'm dealt confident with it. King taking over this shit, monstrous vision. Never temper thoughts, I came from poverty stricken. One day at a time, can't rush greatness. My mind like plush Dayton's. 27 laps in this bitch.
All right, we are here, y'all boys, ladies and gentlemen. We are back. FantasyFlo is back.
Welcome back.
Week 3, the No Name Warriors. And when we say No Name Warriors, I mean people who had no business, absolutely no business, scoring in fantasy this weekend. So without further ado, I'm going to talk about the first thing that we need to talk about. It's going to always be the number one topic as long as they are balling. I mean, if you don't know who we talking about.
I think they know who we talking about.
Just saying.
You see it.
You already know.
You see it.
It's 3-0. I'm not going to do the spiel again. But y'all know. Anyways, the game was more so a defensive battle on our end. Josh Allen and the Bills did their thing on offense. They just couldn't punch it in. They had a red zone percentage of, 50%, while we had 100.
Yep.
So they were 2 for 4. We were 3 for 3. And at the end of the day, we came through and made that good defensive stop. And when you ask about, Tua and his arm, he made all the plays that were necessary to win the game.
Yes. With the minimal amount of time we had.
Yeah. So
defense on the field way too long.
Yeah.
And they were still trying to make plays.
Should
have had some picks.
He 13 for 18 and was very efficient. Got 1 touchdown. Everything else was nice.
If you're a Bulls fan, how does that make you feel?
Mafia dead.
They did.
For that week.
For that week.
For that week. They'll come back to life. I know that much. They went and signed Xavier Rhodes right after. Right?
Oh, they did?
Yeah.
Oh.
I didn't
know
even
what time it is.
I didn't realize that he was. I remember he was on the Colts, but I didn't know that he got cut. So that was interesting.
Yeah, I didn't know he got cut either. Wow.
Jets next too.
Yeah. So
true.
yeah, it's a cakewalk after this. But anyways, Edmonds, he didn't really have like a huge stat line, but the 2 touchdowns mattered fantasy wise. Them 2 touchdowns, that's 12 points off rip. You know what I'm saying? You happy about that? He ain't do nothing else, but them 2 touchdowns made you happy.
Yes.
What did Mostert do this week?
Mostert, I didn't see too much, but he didn't have like a high point game. It's also obviously, we gotta look at that backfield. It's kind of up in the air. We don't know for sure who the guy is until we know. I'm not saying that you're playing Russian roulette, but you're playing Russian roulette.
I honestly don't even think they'll ever have the guy this season.
You don't think so?
No, I think they're just gonna use whoever works best.
Well, like last week, I believe Mostert started. This week, Chase started.
No, last week actually Chase started.
Chase started?
It's just that Chase wasn't effective in the
So
halftime.
so he got more carries.
We went in halftime and we switched into Mostert when he came in, and we just moved much better, and then that started to play action until it started killing him.
Yeah.
So, but other than that, I mean, we got to give props for Waddle because Waddle's literally. I just got an update today. They said the Dolphins view Waddle and Hill as interchangeable wide receiver 1.
I agree.
So not saying that Hill is the de facto number 1 or Waddle is de facto number 1. They both literally operate like they're the number 1 receiver.
Yes.
So when you see Waddle go for 4 receptions, 102 yards, you're not shocked. You know what I'm saying? Tua could throw that to Hill and he would do the same type of things, but obviously Waddle got that ball that day and that's what happened. So, I mean, I'm pretty sure everybody who picked up some Dolphin stock, especially the receivers, are very happy.
And I'm sure too. Reek helped get Waddle open as a distraction too. Which
For sure,
they're gonna be bouncing back and forth with that all year.
I also think people forget that Cedric Wilson is on his team.
They do.
I haven't forgotten.
Yeah, I'm waiting for him to get healthy enough to make a difference. That's when it's gonna be crazy. We're gonna be a problem when he's out here making plays.
Yeah.
So, anyways, that game also, Josh Allen went 42 for 63 pass attempts, 400 yards, 2 touchdowns, 8 carries, 47 yards. It's an MVP looking stat line.
Yes.
It is.
Played a great game.
Took a L. Devin Singletary, I mean, I was telling my brother throughout the game, I'm like, bro, the Bills can't run. Their running back is Josh Allen. So, but you know, it makes me think though. You know how they're talking about like Alexander Madison and Kareem Hunt and certain people who were on the trade block. It makes me really think that what if the Bills went and got that de facto number 1 running back? I don't think nobody's stopping them at that point.
I don't even think they need it, honestly.
They
Devin
don't.
Singletary plays a role.
They don't, but they do if you want to preserve Josh Allen's years. You can't keep having him running like he Tebow, bro.
I mean,
But shouldn't Zach Moss be
Zach Moss should have
more
been
involved though?
He's the bigger
Honestly,
back. He
it's just
shows,
running is not their priority. So
Yeah, that is true. They're pass first too.
yeah, I mean they pass way more than
You know
they
what?
want.
You're
And
right,
then they
because-
have backs that are receiving backs.
Exactly.
So it's
Yeah.
like, that's why Singletary has 78 yards off 9 receptions and only 13 yards off 9 carries.
I
Yeah,
agree.
you're right. Because
Same
I mean,
thing with James Cook, another talented receiving back. So
the Chiefs too. The Chiefs, they're literally a mirror image of that team.
Yeah.
A little bit more talent on the receivers, but yeah, not like one individual talent, but
Right.
overall talent. I mean, honorable mention Isaiah McKenzie, who we like idiots decided not to keep on the Dolphins, and went for 7 for 76 and a touchdown. He didn't catch the game winner, which I'm still happy about. But at the end of the day, he did his thing.
Good for him. I mean, I think I'd rather have Craycraft though, man. Craycraft has 2 back-to-back weeks with touchdowns.
I'd rather have
He has
Isaiah
hands.
McKenzie than Trent Sherfield.
I agree. That I agree with.
That is what
I do agree
That's
with
all
that.
I'm saying.
Yeah.
But
He's our
anyway,
blocker. Isn't Sherfield our blocker?
He's a receiver, but he's more special teams guy, and I guess he came from San Francisco. You know how that happens. Players follow some coach that got hired. It is what it is. Next thing, we got the Eagles, and
3-0.
the Eagles themselves are also 3-0. I mean, it's not the Dolphins' schedule where we have Patriots, Ravens, Bills, Cincinnati, obviously.
Packers.
The Eagles haven't really played anybody. Their schedule is technically pretty easy. I think it's when ESPN or NFL ranked all the teams' schedules. I want to say they had the easiest schedule.
I think it was definitely bottom 3.
Yeah, it's not a hard schedule. So Jalen Hurts, obviously 340 yards, 3 touchdowns, 9 carries, and 20 yards. Balling. I mean, it's easy competition, but we were having a conversation earlier this week. We were saying like, yo, I'm not gonna lie to you, Jalen Hurts. I mean, he might be for real.
Yeah, he was ranked as a top 5 fantasy quarterback for a reason.
I mean,
He's
what's
doing
funny? When he got drafted, I always said that he's like a swoller version of Lamar. Because
Okay.
he's built and he's strong, right? And that's what makes him dangerous in the run game. But when you're looking at his upgraded passing ability this year, obviously giving him A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith last year, I mean, who else did they pick up now?
I don't know.
Oh, yeah, they let go of Rager. So, yeah, I mean, obviously they feel good with what they got. I mean, the running backs always stress us out, but, I mean, it is what it is. But, yeah, man, they're doing really good, and I can't take nothing from them. They're 3-0. Obviously, the schedule's easy. To be honest with you, they should go undefeated. I don't know if they're going to beat the Cowboys. No, they really should. No, like, if you really look at their schedule, they really should.
But the Cowboys don't have a bad team.
No, that's what I'm saying. The Cowboys, I don't think they'll beat the Cowboys.
Yeah.
That's why I changed my tune. But if you looked how easy that schedule is, they have a real good shot at going undefeated.
I will see.
Well,
I don't think it's gonna happen.
It's
but
that's a difficult thing in today's NFL.
oh, for sure. Especially
Only
we just
one
added a whole
team.
nother game.
Only one team has
team
ever gone undefeated. Y'all know who that is.
and won a Super Bowl.
And won the Super Bowl.
Exactly.
But according to Michael Irvin, this Cowboys team. Y'all saw the article. This finger looking good.
That defense serious.
Like what?
That defense serious. I ain't even gonna front. That defense serious. I don't know what the corner's
It's
been
the
doing.
CTE, bro.
The CTE.
I'm dead. All right, so yeah, A.J. Brown came through with 5 receptions, 85 yards, 1 touchdown. Dallas Goedert obviously gave us a respectable number, and I don't know. For some reason, maybe I was the only person on the bandwagon. Maybe you guys did it in other leagues, but I picked up the Eagles defense, and they made me extremely happy.
They did. They balled out.
The Eagles defense right now, they're putting up a lot of fantasy points, and I'm seeing them available in a few other leagues that I'm in.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have the opportunity to get them, you should probably try.
You should probably go get the Eagles defense for sure. The next storyline that I've been itching to talk about, we kind of talked about it in the chat today. Is it today? I believe
Yeah, we did.
was.
We talked about today.
So there is trouble in the bromance.
And it's hurting me.
And because you picked up Devontae.
got Devontae?
In 2 leagues.
Listen, I avoided Devontae for that very reason. I don't give a damn what their connection is. I was like, nah, I need to see it to believe it.
I was banking. I didn't pick up Devontae in any league either, but I was just thinking to myself, I was banking on them having, that connection. Because, I mean, like, what did we said earlier in a couple episodes ago? It's like you started seeing the trends with a quarterback and their college receiver. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're bringing that whole duo thing. And it was like, when you think about who Derek Carr is right now, it's not, obviously he's not elite, but he's good.
He throws 5,000 yards
every year.
Not to Devontae.
Yeah, so, I mean, now you give him Devontae Adams. You add some other pieces to it, and you already have Waller. You already have Renfro. You have all these people.
But listen, go ahead. Don't even waste time. Go straight to Hollins, bro. Go straight to Hollins.
I mean, Hollins, I'm not going to lie to you. Hollins
took all my points.
Bro.
Holland came through last year with the Dolphins, and I mean, it's the reason why the Raiders signed him, because they saw something in him.
Yeah.
And he surely showed it yesterday.
Not
yesterday,
to watch.
on Sunday. I don't think he's going to explode for 30 points again.
I don't think so
I
either.
think he can be relied on for maybe a good 10 to 15 on a good week.
They're going to give him more opportunities because of his ability and what he did last
But
Sunday.
I was watching NFL Network, or it was either NFL Now on ESPN, whatever it was. But Swagoo was out here talking about basically, no, it was actually Orlovsky. Orlovsky was talking about how Derek Carr is purposely not throwing it to him. Like,
he's wide open.
no, he's wide open.
And the
on a lot of
plays are
things.
made for him to
exactly.
be open.
So they're like, imagine taking away Devontae Adams' name and you throw the same play situation, and you know that the play is basically there, and you literally look the other way.
Yeah,
it's like, that's almost like Baker and Odell right now at this point. And I don't think that's what the case is, but it's kind of crazy, dog.
And I don't know what the Raiders' issues is, because the first game, Devontae balled out, and all Derek Carr looked at was Devontae.
You know what I'm going to tell
So
you?
I don't know.
I think it's time that we got to stop rating Josh McDaniels as a good head coach. For giving him all these opportunities. Well, not all of them, but basically he went to Denver. It didn't work out for him. Came back. He was kind of promised a New England job when Belichick left. He takes this job, and it don't look good right now.
It's not.
It don't look good at all. I mean, him and Hackett, them boys looking real bad right now. Because I think Russell, his issue actually might be the offense. I don't think that's the offense he likes, to be honest with you.
It's they have so much talent. It doesn't make sense to me. I guess maybe it's the plays. I don't know.
Well, they were saying like when he actually when he started making plays by running out the pocket, moving around, he actually was making those plays. That's when he was making that long pass.
Okay.
A lot of those things. When he actually got off script, he made plays.
Yeah.
So I think that the offense isn't working for him like that.
Yeah.
So either way, Josh Jacobs did his thing too. It was a respectable 66 yards, but I mean, it wasn't that much.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, Raiders are in trouble. 0-3. It don't look good, dog.
At all.
Don't look.
I didn't expect that. But
We were thinking that the AFC West was going to be a real powerhouse. At this point, it looks
hardest division.
It looks like the Chiefs are going to run away with it at this point, because the Chargers, they're going to come in second, but there are
they're dealing with injuries.
Herbert is a little hurt right now.
Yeah.
So, next situation is very, very interesting. The Jaguars,
That boy Trevor.
are they actually good?
Is Trevor the number 1 draft pick he's supposed to be now?
You got to give QBs time. You know what I'm saying? Look at Peyton.
You got to give him weapons too.
Exactly.
Yeah, Trevor came in there last year thinking that Marvin Jones was his number 1 and that was going to cut it.
No way. No way. We all knew that. Marvin Jones was not.
It wasn't cutting it,
No. But now you got Christian Kirk over there. You got Zay Jones, who I just want to say
he's balling.
Listen, I don't know if y'all noticed, but in our league, I picked him up.
You did,
and then
you dropped him.
I dropped him because I was like, you know what? Let me try to go get somebody else, and that's when I got Hollins.
Okay,
and then Hollins blew up.
So you technically was.
So
you
I ain't
couldn't
saying
have
I'm
traded.
You do.
I'm not saying I'm a fortune teller or nothing, but that's 2 wide receivers I scooped off the waiver wire.
Yes,
and they balled. I knew Zay Jones was gonna ball because the Jaguars' offense is pretty good. They have multiple weapons.
Yeah. Doug Peterson set up that team really well. I really think he does because what you're seeing out of James Robinson right now is nothing short of amazing.
Yes.
Like this man is legitimately a problem. Like James Robinson, torn Achilles, came back.
Yep.
Was already gone running and was
came back
in
before
the
schedule.
Preseason, not even preseason. It was in the just off season in general. He was done. He was ready to come back. I mean, this man came back and
not even 100%.
I mean, bro, James Robinson is literally a steal because I can't remember what most people got him in the draft, but I'm pretty sure.
People jumped on Etienne too quick.
Yeah.
Oh, Etienne over there. All right. Well. Like this man James Robinson ain't ball all season long last year.
And I remember when he was a rookie, he killed.
Yes.
He killed.
He gets the carries.
He does. And I don't know who he reminds me of. When I look at James Robinson, I see like a Michael Turner, but faster.
Yeah.
Like cause he's kind of
he reminds me of I think it was the Falcons before Michael Turner went with the long hair, or was it the Rams? Oh man.
What are you talking about?
I think it was the Rams before Todd Gurley.
With the hair.
He had long
dreads.
hair.
He had dreads.
Yeah.
39. I can't remember.
Steven Jackson.
Oh yeah, that's right.
He's like a faster Steven Jackson.
Steven Jackson was tall though. He was a big running back. Which that was one of those good things about him. Like he really was.
Damn, we been playing fantasy for
I
a
know,
long
right?
time.
Yeah, dog. Steven Jackson. So Christian Kirk, like Kyrie mentioned, he's been doing his thing as the de facto number one. And them boys around him, Zay Jones and company Marvin Jones, they're doing their thing. It's like when I wrote this outline, it was like I was looking at, I was like, Trevor Lawrence threw 3 touchdowns, and obviously we look at Zay Jones and you can be like, he balled, right?
Yeah.
But when you look at how he's dispersing his offense, like Zay Jones had 10 receptions, so obviously he's running routes and getting open. And that has to come with trust for somebody to throw you the ball 10 times.
Yes.
And it's possibly more.
You see, Trevor Lawrence is getting comfortable with his receivers.
And so Marvin Jones been there, but, obviously he's not better than Christian Kirk and Zay Jones at this point in time. But he's still respectable in his stat line. Like, you could have took 4 for 33 and a touchdown and been very happy with your output from him.
And the other thing, too, is Evan Ingram is going to have his games as well.
I believe so, too. I picked him up. I had to drop him. But I do believe as you see this offense getting better, Evan Ingram's going to get his. And we got to big up their defense, yo. I mean, obviously they weren't crazy in picking up Trevon Walker.
They weren't.
They said he was just more of a project guy with all the raw ability, and he's killing, dog. And you give him, and you got what was it, the other Josh Allen, number 41, and that defense is a problem, bro. I'm not even fun.
It's going to be interesting to see what happens this week, though, as far as your questions on whether or not
are they good?
Lawrence is a baller and the Jaguars are good, because they play the Eagles, right?
Yeah, and that's the thing. So
that's a real test.
Because now the Eagles are like, okay, we're up here, and we think we're here. But now the Jaguars show that they balling too, and that's Doug Peterson's old team. So, I mean, I feel like there's a grudge, and I think, to be honest with you, Trevor Lawrence probably will outthrow him. Like, I mean, so if I'm being, Nostradamus right now, Trevor Lawrence is probably going to have to fade Christian Kirk a little bit. So it's probably going to be another Zay Jones game because is it Darius Slay? Darius Slay is on the Eagles now, right? Yeah, because he went to the Eagles. Darius Slay, big play Slay, like everything, dog. Darius Slay, he's gonna lock up Christian Kirk. I know that he will. He locked up a lot of people. In these 3 games, he's made a lot of people. Like, listen, Justin Jefferson was nowhere.
Nowhere. Shocked that happened.
Okay, Darius Slay did his thing.
Yeah.
So
yeah, give him his kudos.
And I hate to digress a little bit, but the Vikings should be balling.
They should be.
It should
better.
be, yes.
And I don't know what the hell is going on, but I never draft Kirk Cousins because the man ain't consistent enough as a fantasy quarterback.
I agree.
Yeah.
It's just not. I thought I was gonna get a steal, somebody who could get me decent points, and I could just focus on getting running backs and wide receivers. But nah,
He got me through last week. That's it.
Yeah,
Hey.
it's, and
I
it
think
ain't looking good this year.
I think it'll click for him eventually. It's just them shutting down JJ. I guess you shut down the Vikings.
I think the issue is that when JJ gets shut down, it's like he can go other places, but they're not breaking the game open.
Dalvin's hurt.
Yeah,
playing
that's
hurt
another
again.
thing.
That's another thing.
That's
They
another
just-
thing. Dalvin got to start making. So maybe Alexander Madison comes in and does
Alexander
his
Madison gonna ball.
I just
Usually
don't know
do.
because they said Dalvin could play. They might let
Yeah,
him
because
play.
this happened last year. He hurt his shoulder, same injury,
Exactly.
and he was out for like a few games and came right back.
It's 3 years in a row
Yeah.
we dealing with the same
It's,
thing.
it's routine now.
Yeah.
All right. Good old rivalries. We love rivalries. Brady and Rodgers. I mean, the game to me kind of was boring,
I watched that game,
but it
That
was a great defensive game.
yeah, it was a,
Yeah. That was a coach.
They ain't put up a lot of points, but it was a good game.
Yeah, I mean, and to be honest with you, if you ask me what the takeaway is I still think the Bucs are better. Only for this fact, Brady basically was in down, like they lost the game 14-12. He lost the game by 2 points, and his best receiver was Russell Gage.
Yeah.
Okay,
Tragic. I love it.
so and Leonard Fournette didn't do that much, and you're looking at Cole Beasley just
Yeah.
getting signed off the street. So I mean, if you're asking me, Brady is once he gets Mike Evans back, Godwin back, Julio Jones back,
Julio Jones.
he's coming back, bro.
Listen, he came back last season too, but he ain't stay back.
What is
That's
it?
the
Partially torn ACL or something?
on
Like PCL.
PCL.
It's time to retire injury.
Nah, you gotta chill out. He ain't ready to retire yet, bro. And Larry Fitzgerald went for a long time. He ain't retired
That's
yet.
Fitz, though.
Larry really get
Larry,
hurt though like
that's-
that.
that's Fitz,
That
man.
man different.
He different.
I feel you. So I mean, out of that game, Tom Brady 271, 1 touchdown. It's not super impressive, but I mean, it's almost 300 yards and 1 touchdown with Russell Gage as his number one.
Exactly.
Aaron Rodgers 255, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Now, seems like Aaron Rodgers is getting back to normalish.
Got a little more to go.
He
Yeah.
is in
He ain't
30
MVP status
No, he's
at
not
all.
yet, but we'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
I want to say just how you brought up Mac Hollins, Romeo Dobbs.
Baller.
I
didn't expect this, I'll be honest with you.
all
I
knew
did.
that he was gonna ball eventually this year, especially off of the highlights in the preseason. Maybe not all of us, but I felt like that's what was eventually gonna happen. But once I got that update the other day talking about Romeo Dobbs is gonna get an uptick in work, and then they said that they're looking to have a big day for him, and then I ended up seeing Watson get injured, and then he was out.
Yep.
And then Sammy Watkins got hurt, and he's
It's-
on IR.
It's just the whole pathway was just open for
It's
him.
just open for him.
I don't
And
know
I
what-
was like, I already picked him up just off of hearing that he was getting more work, right? But when I saw those two, I was like, oh, this is about to be crazy. I didn't trust putting him in my lineup, but
It's a gamble.
it would have been a gamble.
You
but
can't
I-
be mad.
But
that you did
he's
it.
on my team, and I didn't have to go through the Ravens for it.
There you go.
So at the end of the day, it's like sometimes, man, listen, when you see a update, you just gotta think about it, dog. Think about it. Just think about what that means. If they're telling you, if they felt the need to tell you that such and such person is gonna get a lot of work, it's one of two things. Either they didn't do nothing the week before
Yep.
and they got paid a lot of money and they need to get that person going, such as like what Zeke. Zeke wasn't doing too much yet, but they would probably feed him a little bit more so he can start being productive.
Yeah.
Kyle Pitts, he was doing nothing for the first 2 weeks. Out of nowhere, week 3,
He got a little more.
he got a little
But
more.
that's what they said they was going to do, so they had to
So
involve him
that's
more.
what I'm saying. So when people tell you certain things, you got to look at the player, and then you got to look at the situation, and then you got to adjust on that. Because I made an adjustment for Zamir White. Is it White? Zamir White?
Is it?
All I know is the Raiders back a running back.
It's
Whatever.
Raiders backup running back.
Yeah, I don't know if it was White, but either way, he
Yeah, Rashad White.
Yeah, Rashad White. So it's Zamir something then. But when I saw that and I saw that Josh Jacobs didn't fly with the team, I was like, pick up. Let me see what that is.
Illness. I mean,
I was
I'm
like,
surprised he played.
Yeah, exactly. So I was like, let me see what that's about. And then after that, I was like, well, I saw that he got on a flight. So I'm like, all right, I'm dropping you.
Never mind.
That's it. I'm good. So, I mean, that's what I'm saying. It's like when you think about certain people in those situations, you just got to think about it. But obviously, Dobbs scored. Alan Lazard scored. He's clearly showing his rapport with Rodgers already.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's going to be Rodgers' favorite target. I think Romeo Dobbs might end up being that. But I think that Alan Lazard is his red zone and probably a lot of jump ball situation receiver. So he's still going to get looks.
Yeah, I think he's still trying to share the ball, but the way Dobbs was playing is probably going to be his number one going forward. Especially he's making the plays, not dropping passes like some of these receivers out here.
Yeah, it was kind of wild. So anyway, let's get into the week 2. Not week 2.
Week 3 injury report.
Week 3 injury report. So, with that being said,
Who hurt your team this week?
so yeah, some of these people might have, some of these people might not have.
Out the gate, bro. Out of the gate. AJ Green might miss a week. You know what that means.
Oh, Greg Dortch.
All day.
Greg Dortch.
All day.
If you have you seen his stats for the past 3 weeks?
Listen, that's what I said last
It's on
week.
the rise.
He was on our list for waiver
They're
additions.
guaranteed. Like it seems like he's guaranteed 4 to 5 receptions every game, and he makes the most out of them. So I like Greg Dortch. I mean, I don't know what happens when Hopkins comes back and whatever, but I like Greg Dortch. He's nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, AJ Green's out, so that's one thing. Jake Kumaro doesn't really mean much to me because I don't think Josh Allen throws to him far enough.
And it's going to linger with him. It's a high ankle sprain. They always linger long. So.
Byron Pringle, he's a little bit more of a something that might make more like it might be more severe for the Bears because I think they actually wanted Pringle to be somebody.
Listen, man, Bears dumpster fire.
It is.
Don't even unless you got Khalil
Herbert.
Herbert.
I'm about to say, oh, no.
Unless you got Khalil Herbert, man. I had to drop Mooney the other day, bro. I
You
couldn't do
dropped
it.
him?
I dropped him. I couldn't do it.
You need space. You got people who
I
can
couldn't do
produce
it,
now.
man. The man ain't getting no looks. Less than 5 points some weeks. I'm like, what the hell is this?
It don't make sense.
It's gonna happen, bro.
Okay. Are you willing to wait on that?
It depends. I'm willing to wait on a guy that got shot.
You crazy.
Oh, my God.
You crazy. I don't know why.
Why?
People snatching up Brian Robinson quick like this man ain't.
He has no.
I don't care how fast it seemed like he coming back. You got to hold on a little bit now.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't
Let's
gotta
pump
start
the
him.
brakes.
I got
They
4
gonna give
running
him-
backs
If you got
in that
the
league.
room-
I think they're going to give him a drug test because I don't think he should be practicing right now.
Bro, they said
I mean,
that he
shot
they
several
said there's no
times.
timetable, so I don't think he's coming back next week. But
Right.
I do think that he's gonna come back, and I do think that he's gonna steal a big share of Antonio Gibson's
We'll
touches.
see.
Because
I hope not.
Because here's my thing, dog. If you know if you've watched some Alabama games, and it sucks that I sound like I'm an Alabama fan because I'm really not. But the thing is that if you watched any of those games, number 4, that's Brian Robinson. And Brian Robinson's been balling for at least a good 3 years, dog. And I like how he plays, yo. And I mean, that game where Tua and Joe Burrow faced off in college, he was in that game too.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's a lot of people that, come from that tree. But Brian Robinson, I think, like, when you think about all the running backs that come from Alabama, they always end up being pretty good. I mean, you could go down the list. Mark Ingram, Derrick Henry.
Yeah, they produce ballers, bro.
Kenyon Drake.
The recruiting class is up there.
Josh Jacobs. Yes, Josh Jacobs. And, like, it's a lot of them.
Yeah.
So trust me. But Brian, I understand what you're saying, though. At the end of the day, the Bears are not who you want to be looking for. Cole Kmet, I dropped him in a heartbeat because I was like, yo, this is ridiculous.
Yeah.
This is ridiculous.
It's pitiful, man. I'm not even gonna get on my soapbox.
All right, so Hayden Hurst has obviously got hurt. His groin. He's questionable. It's a short week, so it's possible he doesn't play.
I don't think he should. There's no problem messing that even worse.
Yeah, he should be fine.
Yeah.
But
I got him
mean,
in one of my leagues.
I
and
think
I
He'll
just
be
don't.
back.
I think he's gonna come back. I just don't think he should play this week.
I don't
It'll
think so
be a
either.
it
short
says right
turnaround.
now that he's healthy. He's good to go.
Okay, well then he might be good then.
Well, hope you don't re-injure.
Same team, T. Higgins. T. Higgins not re-injured, but he injured his toe. They said he avoided something serious, but he's questionable.
That means
to me,
in one of these leagues, Tyler Boyd was available.
I picked up
I
Tyler
have
Boyd
him in one of my
Casper's
leagues.
league.
I have in one of my leagues. He balled out. This
Yeah,
past
Tyler
week,
Boyd.
so-
So, but I don't think that. I think he's probably a step slower, maybe not as quicker. But other than that, I think T. Higgins is good to go. Especially, but when he knows that they're going against Miami and they're going to have to show that they have the better receiver duo, trio, whatever the hell they want to say,
Yeah.
versus us, which I'm going to tell you they're going to lose. But I'm just talking about the receivers versus receivers.
Yeah.
I'm not predicting the game, but
Yeah.
I just think that our receiving core will outshine theirs just because of the two receivers that we have.
Yes.
They're that good. So next person, big injury on DeAndre Swift, shoulder and ankle. He might miss the next
Tragedy.
2 weeks and return after the bye.
Listen,
Jamal Williams.
DeAndre Swift got hurt in week 2? That was the first time he
Yeah,
got hurt.
he still
Yes.
came
And
back.
he was
and
still able to
was
play?
decent.
Yes.
From that moment, if you did not go get Jamal Williams,
I couldn't.
you are asleep.
Yes.
I
couldn't.
picked him up so fast.
Yeah.
It's
I
not
tried.
even
I
funny.
couldn't. I didn't have the waiver for it.
Especially after getting 2 touchdowns in the first week
Yeah.
As the backup.
as the backup. It's a no-brainer. You should have got Jamal Williams. He's probably
Yeah.
gone in most leagues now, but
Yeah.
He's actually the number 8 running back in fantasy right now.
yeah, that top 10 list you sent to the chat today is 2 Lions running backs in the top 10 list.
Yes.
Kind of crazy.
Swift
Yes.
and Williams.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy, right? But yeah, that's kind of scary. So Reynolds, and obviously Jamal Williams are the people that you want to look into because Jamal Williams won't get all the touches.
Yeah, he
it's
can't.
a good thing that you guys made that point to me, but he won't get all the touches. Reynolds could be a ground and pound kind of guy, but I do think they like Jamal Williams a little bit more, and they'll
Yeah,
feed it.
Reynolds has 2 back-to-back games, or I think it's 2 or 3 back-to-back games where he had double-digit fantasy points, and now he's getting the opportunity because one player
Reynolds? Which Reynolds? Because there's 2 Reynolds on that team. There's the receiver Reynolds and there's the running back Reynolds. The running back Reynolds didn't have no time.
No, I'm talking about Josh Reynolds, a receiver.
Oh, you're talking about Josh Reynolds.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Josh Reynolds, he's had 2 decent fantasy outings in the past couple of weeks. So
Like I said, Jared Goff is spreading the ball, man. He's actually looking real good. I think the confidence is there, and I think he sees what's building. I think the Lions have to learn, like how we did, the pains of building a good team and actually fighting through those games. So I think we'll see what they got. For our purposes, Tua has a back injury / ankle. How do y'all feel about that situation? Do y'all believe it was a concussion, or do you think it's his back and it was his ankle?
The way the league handles concussions now, I don't think it was a concussion. I think he might have hit his head a little bit, been a little wobbly as we saw, but I don't think that was that serious. The ankle, I don't like Tua's pocket presence as much as I should. So I hope him having that ankle injury makes him not even more less mobile right now. That's going to be a problem.
I mean, for me, when I looked at it, I think that the league goes. I mean, this is just me thinking about it. I'm not 100% sure on this, but I think that they go on how often, how much it occurs, the concussions and things like that. So, do I have a doubt in my mind that Tua got, past the concussion protocol? No, because I don't remember him ever having a concussion issue, right? So to me, that sounds like he might have had a concussion and passed the protocol, so therefore they don't rule it as a concussion. But I truly think that when you looked at how it happened, I mean, the back thing is the back thing, and I understand that a sore back out of nowhere could possibly do those type of things to you where it make you wobble and fall. But when I seen the man drop to the ground, get back up, and then he got caught, they caught him and held him up.
Yeah.
I'm like, to me, it looked a little bit more than just a back injury. So trust me, I don't want the Dolphins to get messed up for this in any way.
Yeah.
I don't want them to get messed up because we already got messed up because of Ross, right? So obviously they're doing a probe into it and they're going to look in it. They're not going to have any findings anytime soon, but if they do find something, I could see them trying to hit us on the head with that.
I would think they would have found something already.
No,
So,
I mean they already came out and said it's going to be a while.
Yeah.
It's going to be a while before they come out with anything. About it. So that's why I'm concerned about it. I don't know what the repercussions are going to be. Dalvin Cook, another one.
Yeah, which we already touched on a little bit
Yeah.
earlier.
New
It's
year,
dislocated
same player.
shoulder. Yeah, it's not
So
that big of a deal.
yeah, he's already played through it, but
Yeah.
always, like Kyrie said, if you've seen Dalvin Cook on the injury report just because he hurt his finger, go get Alexander Madison.
Yeah.
That's it.
Mac
Jones,
Jones.
yo. I think it's a little sad for him, dog.
Somebody said, who sent that picture of Mac Jones
Being
with his
carried?
shirt?
Yeah.
You got to put that in the video.
He was dying, yo. But yeah, I mean, they said he might need surgery. He's looking for second opinions. I heard that there was a fight between, not a fight, but like, obviously the Patriots have an idea of what they want him to do, and he has an idea of what he wants to do.
Yeah.
In my opinion, you're the player, it's your body, you figure out what you want to do. I don't see no reason why if you feel like because the way I'm looking at how Mac Jones is looking at it, we ain't good. We not winning no Super Bowl this year. So I'm going to take my time and come back.
As he should.
And I'll be healthy. Belichick and them boys want him to come back as soon as possible, get the surgery, whatever it may be. I don't know what it is, but they want him to come back.
Yeah.
I think because if you should have saw the clip, the man was all like, day by day, take it day by day. Like it wasn't like a repeated loop. He just literally kept saying day by day. He wasn't giving the media nothing to talk about. So he just, I don't know, man. Mac Jones is trying to, get in his Belichick bag a little bit, but I don't know. The Saints, Michael Thomas, Jarvis Landry. Obviously, the bigger injury is Michael Thomas.
Yeah.
Jarvis Landry, he had a really nice week 1 and disappointed me since then. But I do think he will have a role on this team. But I just think the emergence of Chris Olave is killing these boys.
Yes.
Like Michael Thomas was looking like he was going to be a problem. I don't think it even matters with Jameis Winston knowing that boy is running down there fast as hell. Like,
Yeah.
Chris Olave is clearing it, and he's going to lob that ball.
And Michael
every time.
Thomas was already playing at 85%. He wasn't even 100% healthy.
So he injured his toe, but they said he avoided the injury as well. So he's questionable. Jarvis, they thought it was a foot, no ankle injury, but he just says he's describing it as foot soreness. So I think he's going to be back to play.
He'll be fine. He's gonna get his reps.
The other, also, I'm saying two. Traquan Smith got hurt. He got a concussion. And I mean, Traquan Smith had one good week. I want to say last week, he had a really good week.
Yeah.
If Traquan Smith can get into this thing, I mean, I remember watching him in UCF. Like he needs to get in there. He's a big, tall receiver, fast. He has good hands. Like he reminds me of AJ Green body wise too. So I mean, Traquan Smith, if he can come back healthy from that and get involved in this passing attack, I think he's gonna be real good. Prayers up for this man. Prayers up,
Man, I feel bad for Sterling
because I feel like it's a every other year.
Every other year?
It's every
might
year.
be every season.
Yeah, it might be
Maybe
every year now.
But it's
I don't
different
think he-
injuries. But I think he's
Yeah,
torn his
yeah,
ACL
but-
before.
I don't think there's been I don't know of a season where he stayed healthy.
Maybe his rookie year. That's
Maybe.
it.
Yeah.
I think.
I'm gonna look this shit up.
Was he
because-
hurt that year when they went to the playoffs with Odell? Because I feel like he was actually healthy that year.
I don't remember. But
I gotta look at it.
Was he on the boat pick?
Of course, he was.
Oh, yeah, he probably was healthy.
He probably
Yeah.
was healthy. Oh
dang.
man, but rest up, dog. Like it sucks to see somebody. Anytime I see anybody with a knee injury, I'm holding mine in.
It's especially where what is a no contact. You just
Yeah, and so like,
Drop.
even Odell just came out and was all like ban the turf. Like
Yeah.
it's obviously.
Yeah,
it
turf.
seems like nobody like it. I don't know why you got it.
I mean,
less
trust me,
maintenance. on it?
the kids
It's
when I
less
see
maintenance. It costs less.
Yeah, but I mean, it's easier to take care of for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's like I'd be worried about that for the kids when they playing football all the time when we go on the field with turf. To be honest with you, they think when they see grass it's bad. I'm like, bro,
Grass
natural
is
grass
better.
is
Grass is-
good, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you.
That's pillows versus concrete.
Yeah, exactly.
Pretty much.
So let's get into the top 12 finishes.
The ballers of the week.
All top 12. I'm just gonna call this the quarterback edition because there's a lot of them. So we got Lamar coming in at number 1 with the top overall finish. He had 218 yards, 4 touchdowns, 1 interception, 107 yards and 1 touchdown.
Pay that
rushing.
man.
Pay that man, dog. Remember our segment. Everybody, they need to pay this man, dog.
What they need to do?
Pay that man.
Bring me my money.
Yeah, y'all, it's me. I'm dead. So I'm just saying, dog. It's crazy how much he's really balling right now.
Yeah.
Jalen Hurts, man. And these two people they have to be in the top people for MVP race right now.
Yes.
It's early, obviously, but if you had to start a race right now, they in front.
Yeah.
So Joe Burrow, he came through with a big game, 3 touchdowns, 275 yards. They came through with a win over the Jets.
He getting locked up this week though.
It's the Jets, everybody.
JETS.
I'm not doing this.
Sucks.
You got something to say, Alec?
Nah, bro. I'm just letting you know it's the Jets. And Joe Burrow is, you know what? Matter of fact, let me just get on this topic real quick. No. It's nothing crazy. But I want everybody to realize that Joe Burrow and Tua go against each other this week, tomorrow, and they're gonna play. They played each other in back in college, and that was a hell of a game. If you look at both of those depth charts on those teams, you will see absolute rawness. I mean, absolute rawness. You're talking about Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Randy Moss's son at tight end. Who else am I missing that was on that team? There's a lot of people. Defensive people, too.
Yeah.
So, and then you got Tua, who had Brian Robinson, Jerry Jeudy, Devontae Smith, Jalen Waddle. I want to say, I can't remember how many it was, but
I just watched the clip about that a few hours ago.
Yo, I'm telling you, it's that team, that game alone shows you how much firepower both those teams had back in that game. And I just want everybody to know. I think LSU won, but it was a close game, and that was before Tua got his hip injured. Nobody had nothing to say about Tua then.
Nope.
Not one word. And it's funny because I watched Stephen A. Actually sit here and say on First Take today that Tua actually has an arm. That's news to me.
I know he accurate, but he can't throw the deep balls like they've been saying.
So now what he said, he said it's the intermediate passes because he's short that we're unsure about. Before it was he couldn't throw 20 yards.
Yeah. Well, remember you gotta get in his vision because he can't see. Remember that video?
I mean, that was a horrible video for him to do. But anyway, I just wanted to let y'all know that Tua ain't no joke, and they got to put some respect on his name.
All right.
Anyways, Devontae Smith, yo, if you seen any of those catches that he did, and the catch that he made, the touchdown he made was disgusting.
Baller.
So I'm hats off to him because after AJ Brown came, I was like, I'm not sure about you no more because I mean, obviously they drafted you in the first round, but I don't know. You get AJ Brown and you get him. It's almost you thinking that you almost got Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, but you don't. But you don't.
Jalen got no excuses either. He got to give him the ball, which he did this week.
So your boy Mac Hollins came through as well. That was like I said, this top 12 is. That's why the name of this episode is No Name Warriors. Because Matt Collins is not necessarily a no name. He obviously has sprinkles of fantasy relevance every once in a while. But Matt Collins should not be scoring these touchdowns that Devontae Adams needs. Getting these yards that Devontae Adams needs.
I agree 100%.
Darren Waller needs. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
He over here, he just poaching all kind of stats from these boys. And at this point, I think it's safe to say that the Bears need to make a running back change, just in general. Because obviously, David Montgomery is good. I'm not taking that from him. He is good,
but
obviously, every time Khalil Herbert gets the ball and he gets opportunity, he kills. So I think they got to go with the man.
I think they both can play a great role on the team. It's just
I don't know.
He's not the workhorse. They want their Montgomery to be James Robinson. He can't. James Robinson gets the carries. He gets hurt once in a while, but at least he can sustain much longer.
Yeah.
Dumpster fire. Like I said.
And so Trevor Lawrence comes in at 7. I'm glad to see that he's up there because a lot of people were trying to come for this man as if like he really wasn't a number 1 pick and like he wasn't like that in college. He was like that.
He was supposed to be the future, no quarterback.
They
In a
think
while, we had like that.
He's supposed to be technically the next Andrew Luck, who was the next Peyton Manning.
Yes.
So I think that's what they're looking at. I think give him 2 more years, he's gonna be killing.
Yeah.
Josh Allen, we spoke on him earlier.
Not
he came
clutch.
through he's not clutch. So you got to figure that out.
But ball down. He's a baller.
But he's probably going to have a nice bounce back against the Ravens defense, who everybody wants to say that the Dolphins only took advantage because they were trash and they couldn't stop us. But I mean, it is what it is. I mean, like people like to act as if like their corners weren't on that team. Marcus Peters started that game. Marlon Humphreys started that game. I don't care if they got taken out the game. They got beat.
Yep.
So don't tell me no starting corners wasn't playing. Backup corners. They was playing. They got taken out because they couldn't handle it. So therefore, F y'all.
Mark Andrews.
Mark Andrews looking like the number 1 tight end of the year.
I love
and
it.
I know you probably happy that Lamont ended up taking Travis Kelce over him.
I would have took either
Wait,
one.
what? Travis is balling too.
I would have took either one, honestly. But
Lamar just
everything happened for a reason.
slinging that thing, man.
Yeah, I like Mark Andrews is really looking like the real deal. So I saw a stat about Marquise Brown, and I want to say it was another receiver. I can't remember who the second one was, but they had 33 receptions, no drops.
Okay.
And he, in this right here, 33, almost half of them came in this game. 14 receptions, 140 yards, and he ain't dropped nothing. He literally sat there and just probably every time, I mean, put it this way, the Cardinals haven't played well.
Kyler Murray hasn't played well.
Kyler Murray hasn't played well. And I mean, but he's making Marquise Brown look like a smart guy, like, or the Cardinals for getting him because they actually have a rapport, but we'll see what happens. I mean, last year they were undefeated for a good like 7-8 games. I don't know what happened to them. And Derek Carr, as we said, you know, we're throwing our hands up in there because what are we supposed to do?
Yeah.
What are we supposed to do?
Well, the name of the game is fantasy football, so we don't care about what the team does in the real world. We care about that fantasy football production.
Yeah, well, I mean, Derek Carr had he had a top 12 day. So at the end of the day, if you have Derek Carr, you're probably still happy with the production he gave you. But if you're a Raiders fan, I know you hot.
Yeah, of course.
Shout out to you, Dad.
So I know a lot of people have been scared and upset with the output that Derrick Henry has been putting out.
Yes.
He came back in a nice way, and he was catching the ball. Yeah. That's why I was trying to tell y'all, Dontrell Hilliard, I was like, that's a fluke. That's a fluke.
I'm glad he's fluking right now because I need King Henry back to bring me to the promised land.
I'm glad that the Titans got back to what they supposed to be doing.
Yes.
I'm actually happy that they started getting Robert Woods the ball. I had to pick him right back up.
I mean, that's the thing. Last season they were without Henry because of his injury, and of course that's gonna, you have to adjust to that.
Yes.
Now they have him back, so they can continue to build. I didn't think they would have just as bad as a season as last year with Henry back. The first 2 games were a little bit of a worry, but I think they'll be all right.
Yeah.
Agreed. So let's jump into just the top 5 by position. Some of the people we already kind of went over in the top 12, but this is by position, top 5. So quarterback, Lamar Jackson, Jalen Hurts, Joe Burrow, Trevor Lawrence, Josh Allen.
Solid list. Glad to see
list.
Trevor on there. I think Tua's gonna be back in top 5, back and forth as well.
I think this is a solid list of people. For running backs, we got Khalil Herbert, Derrick Henry, Jamal Williams, James Robinson, and Devin Singletary.
That's a shocker.
Devin Singletary in the top 5 is kind of confusing to me, but
No Jonathan Taylor.
no Jonathan Taylor.
No Saquon.
I mean, running back has been just absolutely
Atrocious.
nuts
been
this
everywhere.
year, dog. Nuts.
Even on the waiver wire, it looked like a barren wasteland.
Yo, I'm so glad in our league for the FantasyFlo league that I got 5 that I can, well, 4 for sure that I'm happy with. And then that 5th is Brian Robinson. And I'm just hoping that turns into a meal ticket.
Hey,
So
we'll see what happens.
Yeah, so receiver's been just blowing up every other week.
Yeah, this is even wilder, probably.
So Devontae Smith came in at the number 1 receiver. He had like 30-something points. Mac Hollins, number 2. Marquise Brown, Chris Olave, and Russell Gage. Not no Justin Jefferson, not no Jamar Chase, not no Stephon Diggs, not no Devontae Adams, not Tyreek Hill, not even Jalen Waddle.
Bro.
Like, we ain't get none. Like, bro, what?
This list will never look like this again. I'm telling you right now.
It will never.
This will never be this vibe.
Ever.
Like, not like this.
Exactly like that.
Yeah, not exactly
but I'm
like
sure
that.
some of these people going
Chris Olave, I think
people
Chris
will
Olave
definitely
actually
come
might
back.
be a real steal. I'm not even gonna lie. But yeah, this is wild. Tight ends, Mark Andrews, obviously he's the number 1 tight end. David Njoku, he came through because he wasn't looking good the first 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And then they finally started getting him right.
But he does this.
Exactly. I was just about to say, he ain't doing nothing I have not seen before.
Yes.
I've seen this. So for me to be sold on him as that guy, like, yeah, David Njoku, nah.
Too scared.
Here's my question though, right? Is that a Baker issue?
No,
It's
Or is it a him?
it's not because
what did he do the first 2 weeks of the season?
yeah.
No, I agree, right?
And now
But
he's balling out, and everybody gonna be like, "Oh shit, let me jump on the
He
bandwagon."
has all the talent to do this. He could be just like Pitts. That's like Pitts supposed to be, right? Yeah. But next week he could give me 0.
Exactly.
That's the problem.
And then also you got to worry about his injury history.
Yes.
I mean,
I ain't mad at it. Oh, I feel you.
we'll see though.
Travis Kelce came in number 3.
As
Number
he should
4
be.
is
Tyler
very
Conklin.
interesting.
Very consecutive all 3
Because
weeks.
you know
double
what's
digit points.
interesting about it? Why the hell would Kirk Cousins not use this man when he was in the Vikings?
That wasn't his
Cousins.
guy. It just
Kirk
wasn't,
Cousins.
it wasn't
Kirk
his guy.
Cousins, y'all. It's Kirk Cousins.
He had Thielen catching 15 passes a game. That's why.
Nah, it wasn't even Thielen. It was that he had Jefferson around with Conklin time. I just think that he's the way that the Jets are using him. It seems like Tyler Conklin should have been a top tight end from a long time.
Yeah, but the Vikings don't really use their tight ends like that. I mean, the last time I
Kyle Rudolph
remember
in his prime.
it was Kyle Rudolph who was
Yeah.
balling, and after that, they
He
barely
kinda fell off.
used.
Yeah, their running backs they block. Remember they block a lot because they run. They always have a good running back every year.
You're right. So all right, I mean, but yeah, Tyler Conklin is the number 3 tight end right now in fantasy. It's fantasy. You always know that tight end is going to be one of those.
And he's
positions.
surprisingly on with the waiver wire in one of my leagues.
Still.
Oh
wow.
Oh wow.
All right. This one just threw me for a loop, so that's why I had to make sure I put the name.
Put the right, yeah. Because
So
I know who this
Jelani
was.
Woods. I don't know who Jelani Woods is, guys.
Can he keep it up? Is Matt Ryan going to be
Matty
the one?
Ice.
They're gonna. Bro, I don't know what. Listen, you wanna know? Here's my hot take about the Colts. Right, the Colts go as Michael Pittman goes, because without Michael Pittman, they have no fear of anybody. They don't fear any other receiver, and they will literally blitz.
It might just be stop Jonathan Taylor.
That's all I'm saying.
it.
So that's what I'm trying to say. Like once you have Michael Pittman in the game, they're scared because you know he can go and do it.
Yeah.
So I think that he is very key to their team. Pittman is very key to their team. So he opens up a lot, and I think that's the reason why they beat the Colts, because the week before they looked atrocious. So let's get into the kickers. Greg the Leg Zulerin, Zerline, whatever you want to call him.
However you want to do it.
Graham Gano, Cairo, Santos, Matt Prater, and Riley Patterson. That's the Jacksonville kicker. For anybody who doesn't know, I didn't know who he was.
Butker should be back this week, so I do expect him to be top
Listen,
5
man, I hope y'all seen my Butker gymnastics on on the league.
What, drop and pick him up?
Man, I lost him, man. I had to drop him and I lost him. Man.
I had to keep. I'm still fighting to keep him.
Highly
It
upset.
is what it is, man.
I feel you as a kicker, so at the end of the day, but I was just like, let me get a good kicker and be happy with it. So defenses. Like we were saying earlier, if you have a chance to pick up the Eagles defense, I tell you to do that. I'm gonna tell you one thing about the Bengals defense. If you pick them up, you will be sorely disappointed.
Especially tomorrow.
They're not that good. And they beat the Jets.
Joe Flacco.
Nobody.
I don't know about nobody.
Nobody.
I don't know about nobody.
He won a championship, but that was years ago. He ain't shit now.
Respect this man.
I don't know about, I don't know about
I
nobody.
tell you what though, I tell everybody, I like Joe Flacco over Wilson. Zach Wilson ain't my guy, bro.
You gonna see he back this week, right?
Because here's my thing. The same way we're looking at Conklin, how much you want to bet that Conklin
That's
don't
why
ball?
he probably on the waiver wire still.
How much you want to bet the second that Flacco is not the quarterback that Conklin goes all the way down?
It's possible.
So we'll see.
I don't like Zach Wilson. I think I think the Jets are a team that when you have somebody like Elijah Moore, I think that is Zach Wilson's guy. I think when you look at Flacco, I think Flacco likes Garrett Wilson, and I think Flacco likes Corey Davis.
Yeah.
That's who he throws to. And obviously Conklin. So when you're looking at that, I'm looking at it as like, obviously Zach Wilson's going to have his people too. So I don't know where that leaves the rest of the guys, but they said he's practicing this week, I believe. So he should be good to go. Broncos defense, they have such a good defense. It's such a travesty to see that Russell Wilson can't move the ball and they just sit there and have to win the game for him. Like,
if I was a betting man, I would have lost a lot of money. I did not expect Russell Wilson to be playing like this right now.
I thought they were going to have a really good team.
Yeah. But, I mean, like I said, I think it's the offense. I think it's the coach, the offense, whatever you want to blame it on. I don't think it's so much Russell. Obviously, he's older.
Yeah.
But they might regret that $235 million.
He not.
He not.
Yeah, for real.
He not. Sierra not. That was her prayer. The Packers defense is super solid.
Yeah.
I still think the Bucks defense is super solid too. They actually just not the Bucks. Who actually signed JPP? Ravens. That was interesting. I thought that was interesting. Ravens signed JPP. But yeah, so Packers, they're super solid. Their defense. I mean, when you got people like Rashawn Gary, they lost one of the Smith brothers, right?
I think so.
Yeah, I think it's Zadarius Smith went to the Vikings. But yeah, Jair Alexander, he's a real good corner. But I think he got hurt in that game as well. But that defense is just all
Packers
around.
usually know how to control their defense.
They spend their money on defense.
They have a lot of good bench players that can step up and stuff.
I mean, when you got Aaron Rodgers and they successfully find receivers that they can build up, it's like, I understand why they don't go and get receivers in the first round, but they should.
Yes.
They still should.
Yes.
Imagine having a Justin Jefferson on Green Bay. Like, that's the difference.
Or just
of
trade something.
Like, yo, do something, dog.
Yeah.
Odell going there next year, though. And the Panthers defense, which was funny because the Panthers, who they beat? The Saints? They beat the Saints.
Yeah.
I mean,
Injured Saints squad.
Crab leg
squad.
I don't.
They eat it this week. They eat no W's this week.
There was no serious speech given this week. But yeah, I mean, Baker looks good this week, I guess, if you want to say that. But he's still trash. I mean, his first team was the Browns when they were trash. So I don't think he, I just think that Baker just got to give up. I don't know. It could be mean of me, but whatever.
Record check.
Where
we at, people? I'm 2-1.
In which league?
I was doing Superbot.
1-2.
1-2.
Yeah, I just got my first dub.
Okay.
I'm real happy about it though because I should have won every week.
So y'all say.
Yeah.
Nah, I mean, in actuality, I felt like there was one decision I made that always threw my game. Obviously, last week Tua balling against the Ravens and getting 57 points in that league for me was one thing.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna see that coming, so I'm not tripping on it. But but I think I had somebody else. Dotson probably went off that day, and I could have very well started Dotson. So yeah, I mean, just in general, I think that I like where my team is. Like I said, I picked up Brian Robinson. I got 4 strong running backs. Waiting for Dobbins to get healthy so he can get plugged into my starting lineup. And then I got solid receivers. I think Romeo Dobbs is going to be a real problem in the future.
It's a great pickup. Yep.
Yeah, so I think I like my receivers, man. I like my team. Kyle Pitts came through for me. I was real happy about that.
I mean, it's only week 4 now. After week 3, I don't think really in panic mode, especially at 1 and 2.
Right.
0-3. Either I don't know if you're not hitting the waivers right. I don't know, but
I mean, Zay
something.
was trying to talk some foolishness today, and he was, obviously talking about how he scored a whole bunch of points, and it's valid points.
Yeah, he has
It's
the
valid.
most points against in our league. I will say that. Sucks.
I don't care.
It's
Just guess what? Whoever you play, it's about the adjustments you make. So at the end of the day, and it's not like we know what's gonna happen definitively. This is literally guessing. Every weekend we're guessing.
Yeah,
And it works out or it doesn't.
it's true.
So it is what it is. You guys had any standouts?
Standouts. Mark Andrews, man. I have him in 2 leagues, so I'm just happy he's balling. I drafted him pretty high. That's about it.
Yeah, I have him too in this league, and he balled out. Got me like
Did his
25
thing.
points.
He did his
Yeah,
thing.
for me, I had to give it to Kyle Pitts this week just for the simple fact that he showed up.
He could do more,
And
honestly.
he could do much more. But the fact that he showed up, which is still kind of baffling to me. And I mean, obviously, it's a quarterback change. You got Matt Ryan and you got Marcus Mariota. Matt Ryan obviously knows how to throw the ball a little bit better than Marcus Mariota. So I think that's probably why Kyle Pitts at the end of the season started getting going. You know what I'm saying? But now Marcus Mariota is feeding Drake London, which is not bad.
Which I'm very happy about.
Drake London's eating. But at the same time, it's like Kyle Pitts was struggling, dog.
Yes. I don't know what it is. Any adjustments y'all need this week?
In this league,
Yeah. No, we all came off a win this week. I still have an issue. My quarterback, Wentz, did not show up for me.
Yeah.
I pulled up victory, but he didn't show up for me this week.
yeah, but they were playing the Eagles. So
Yeah.
I mean, if he keeps this up and they continue to lose games against teams that they should be beating, then yeah, might be some cause for concern.
Yeah, but I think he only got me 9 points. I definitely need more than that.
Yeah, you need more than that.
Yeah,
That's what Russ
at least throw
gave me.
1 touchdown.
Please.
Something.
Right. For me, I feel like my whole goal going forward is just to strengthen my team as I go. Once you feel like you have your core set of people,
Yeah.
you want to just make sure that if anything happens to them, the next man can step in there. So that's kind of where my thought process is. Only person I don't have that for is a tight end, but I figured tight ends is a wasteland. I could go shoot some dice that one day and pick one and hope.
Yeah.
And hope for the best. I mean, one bye week. I'm just saying.
It's gonna be tough, man. I mean, I've thought the same thing in previous seasons, and I mean, you might get lucky, but 9 times out of 10, it's nothing there. You're looking at somebody who's probably gonna give you less than 10 points.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As far as a replacement for a tight end.
I mean, put it this way: Kyle Pitts gave me 2 points, 2.30 each week in the first 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's tough.
At this point, I'm understanding that tight end is volatile.
Yeah.
Yeah, realistically speaking, you give yourself an advantage if you can draft a really good tight end and then also have a sleeper as a backup already on your bench. That's your best bet. But trying to stick with one tight end and then go get a backup tight end for a bye week, you might want to try to plan ahead.
Yeah. I always try every year just to try to get a tight end 1 that's going to give me wide receiver 1 numbers.
I mean, for sure, you always want
And,
that.
yeah, and if I can't, I'm literally going way on the back end and just hoping on the waiver wire somebody will step up. That's pretty much my game.
All I'm gonna say is I saw what you did today.
Who?
I saw you drop who you dropped
In which league?
in fantasy flow and sleeper.
Who you drop?
Who I dropped?
Everett.
Oh.
Oh yeah, I dropped him today.
You picked up quarterback Lawrence.
Yeah, because
I
I'm
know
worried
you-
about Cousins, man.
Yeah, I know that you.
Yeah.
That's why I figured. I was like, you know what?
gotta
Kyrie
weigh your
has-
options.
He
And I have Mark
He has
Andrews.
Mark Andrews. He
Oh,
wanted Cousins.
Yeah.
But Everett is good. I felt like you could have probably used him as a trade piece.
I don't do trades. I'm gonna just be
I'm
honest.
not a trade guy. We could take trades out the whole game. I'm
people
fine
try
with
to
it.
people. Excuse my French, but it's not gonna sound authentic if I don't cuss.
Mm-hmm.
So you're gonna have to bleep this out.
No problem.
But people try to fuck you over with these trades, man. They want to get the best from you, and they want to give you scraps.
Look,
I can't do that. I'm not going for that.
Yeah, y'all know how I feel about them days.
all I'm gonna say is the only reason I'm trying to make a trade because I'm trying to come up.
Exactly.
That's it. I'm trying to convince you to let me come up.
That's how people treat it. But it shouldn't be like that.
It
Two
shouldn't.
people can trade and get value.
Yeah.
Now, if something happens after that, it is what it is. But at least let the trade
Make
be,
sense.
It needs to make sense. It needs to be of value to both teams.
Mm-hmm.
If it's not, then you're just trying to get over on somebody. I can't get down with that. I'd rather go to the waiver wire all day long.
Yeah, or just roll with the team I got.
It makes me think about like the auction leagues too, like how Casper brought up the trades today and everything like that, and I thought about it and I was just like, the auction leagues they get so tricky with trades, dog, because it's like, so you pay $5 for a player, you trade that player, you got to match that $5.
Have to, yes.
So if the player that you're not trading him for is not $5, you're giving up more than one player just to match the money, and that makes trading.
It makes
it much more
more crucial, harder.
hard, everything, So
Because I remember after our draft in that league, I had Tom Brady as my quarterback for $1. So I wanted Hurts. I had to give up a quarterback and a running back just to get Hurts. A great trade so far. So
that's what you did with today this year.
yeah, at the end of the draft, that's why.
That's
I
what
did
you
that
traded.
draft.
You traded
I traded Tom Brady and Tony Pollard for
Hurts.
That's worth it.
Yeah,
No, but especially
because he needed a running back, and I wanted Hurts.
Yeah.
Period. So
I ain't mad at it. Listen, Lamar has saved me in that league. Saved me.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, thank you guys for tuning in. We've been doing this for about week 3. This is episode 6.
something like that.
All right, something like that. So tune in. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Check out my dog, Fortune Theory. Influential soon come. What else we got
Follow
on
the
there?
IG page.
Follow the IG
TikTok.
page,
We're on TikTok now.
All of that. All the good stuff. More content coming. We're trying to make sure that everything just flows. Also, stay tuned. Basketball season is on its way.
Yes.
The beginning of the season is October 19th, I want to say. And I'm real excited about basketball season, y'all. I mean,
More stress.
it is more stress, longer amounts of stress, but trust me, we got some big things coming in for basketball, special debates, all that good stuff. So y'all boys tune in, all right? Deuces.
Embedded the drive, can't stop going. Catching all these blessings, open field like I'm T.O. It's free flowing. Embedded the drive, can't stop going. Catching all these blessings, open field like I'm T.O. It's free flowing.